Welcome back to Advocacy Alchemy with Professor Ross. Today we have a good one, guys. We're headed down to the humid streets of Key West, Florida, and we're following a U-Haul that looks like it's been through a war zone. Now, most people think a cracked windshield is just a fix-it ticket, but in our world of Advocacy Alchemy, we know that a fix-it ticket is usually just the front door to a felony search. Today we're breaking down how just a few crumbs of marijuana and a moment of panic turned a traffic stop into a full-on takedown. We'll talk about the law at the end. Let's watch the video first. And shout out to Police Cam. With that, let's jump in.
Hello, Sergeant Malsheimer with Key West Police. Well, your windshield's completely smashed, so that's an issue. It's an obstruction of your view, so. You have your license, and then the vehicle registration. I know it's a U-Haul, but usually it's in the glove box. Oh, there isn't one? Okay. Can you roll down that window for me? For the other officer? Is it yeah. Thank you. I'll be right back with you. I was told you guys were looking for this, and the window is completely shattered anyway, the windshield.
Congrats, love the pictures.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, how are you? What is up with this windshield? Can you roll that down? Does it roll down anymore? Thank you. So what happened to your windshield? It got bashed in? Who bashed it in? A friend? Okay.
Yeah, you got glass all up on your dash there.
All right, you have did they take your driver's license? Did they ask you for it? Okay. All right, my friend, I'll be right back, okay?
Hey, boss. Hey, so it smells a little bit like marijuana. You have a medical card? What? Wait, do you have a medical card? No? Alright, you want to do me a favor, just jump out for us?
Okay. Do me a favor, come over here. Come this way, okay? So, being that you don't have a medical marijuana card, there's some shake in the front of the car. We can search the car, okay? Do you have anything illegal on you? No? Okay. So what he's going to do is he's going to search your pockets.
I'm not going to search the search.
Okay, but we have probable cause. You don't have to.
Yeah, it's not about
that's for the vehicle, not me. I'm not going to search the vehicle.
But there was illegal items in
No, there
the
wasn't.
vehicle? Yes.
It's
Would you like me to
glass?
show it to you?
Yes.
Okay, come on right over here and I'll show you, okay? Do you see this right here?
Yeah.
That's called shake. That's illegal to have.
Marijuana?
Yes, marijuana is not legal in the
It's
state
not.
of Florida.
I said it's from the greenhouse. I explained that already.
Okay, but it's still shake.
It's from the greenhouse.
Okay.
It's not medical marijuana.
So it's also not in the original container.
That it needs to be.
It needs to be in a container, the original container from the greenhouse, regardless of what it is.
Because he has a destroyed front windshield.
Yeah, but they said something about that like a couple weeks ago to make this.
I wasn't there, but I don't know. I didn't even know this was the same call. I just pulled up to back up the traffic stop, that's all. That's the reason for the stop, because of the windshield. The traffic unit saw me with the windshield crack. You guys from Florida or Arizona?
I'm from
Florida? Okay, I just saw the Arizona tag.
Literally got that from that.
Oh, the one here in town? Okay. Yeah, if they rent it to you that way. Yeah, all right. Do me a favor, just stay over here. I'll let them know that that's how you guys rented it, okay? That's the other half from the 22 verbal from earlier, La Concha. Okay. He's saying that they rented it to him that way.
Okay.
We were out this guy earlier, and he's kind of up and down.
He's saying he rented it to him that way?
That's what he said. He rented it here in Key West.
He told me they pulled over for before, and he's allegedly been told to allow them, but that's obviously
He said the same exact thing. So.
But that's obviously an instruction. And without a medical card, we can't tell whether or not it's not in a container. So that's what gives us probable cause to search the vehicle and you.
Not going to search the search.
Well, it's not a debate. It's not a choice.
Being searched today.
So.
Okay, well, at
that's
face
gonna
value,
happen.
it looks like there's illegal items in the car. So. Okay. All right, come back this way.
Back there. Don't go over there.
I'm not. Don't. Hey, stop, bro. Stop.
Hey, relax.
Get off of me.
Back up! You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win,
I'm not
sir.
even fighting.
Get on your stomach. Get on your stomach.
Y'all are detaining me, by the way. Very, very rough detainment.
As soon as you pull your hand away.
Okay.
Scotty! Stop! Stop!
Thank you. Not smart, sir. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Get up. Stand up.
I think y'all like are the only cops in the world. Y'all could be assholes and crooked. The law is still the law. So y'all can detain me roughly, try to scare me. I'm so disrespectful.
Can I talk to the officer?
Not right now. You need to go 25 feet over there.
Can I talk to an officer?
I am an officer.
No.
No,
Why?
not right now because he's detained. So I'm going to tell you one more time, or you're also going in cuffs. 25 feet. Go. Thank you.
Don't talk to
25 feet.
Don't talk to
25 feet.
Don't talk to
Widen your stance.
I wasn't running.
Widen your stance.
I didn't even.
Widen your stance, sir.
I wasn't running.
Let go of this.
I can't have my phone.
No.
Can I give it to my friend?
Nope.
Let go. There you go.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
That's why you didn't want to stay. That's why you wanted to walk away.
I wasn't walking.
So your whole "I didn't do nothing" story,
I didn't
it
walk
just fell
away.
apart. Just stop.
Yeah.
There we go. Now the rest of the story comes out. See all that racism and BS you were talking? That's all lies. All lies.
So we're not the ones being
You
assholes.
sit upon a throne of lies.
You guys are still being rough for no reason. Microaggression.
So anyway,
Yeah.
we tried to explain everything to him, and he got sassy.
Well, yeah. Plus, you're telling them where to go, and we just had a domestic with this guy allegedly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not gonna walk over
No.
to this guy and then go the opposite direction.
No.
To go. Nobody else is in there, right?
No, I mean we didn't check the back, but
It's always someone else's fault. We're gonna get in this vehicle right here. Man, you don't know what violence is, buddy. If you think that's violent, you've never experienced violence. What's that Velcro for, bro? Holding up your pants? My mouth? It's actually kind of funny.
You got him. I'm gonna get Jenny.
Yeah, that's fine. Widen your stance again. You got anything up in your crotch? All right. Listen, partner. If you got anything else on you, let me know. If you introduce it to the jail, it's going to be another felony, okay? And they're going to scan you.
Wait, this is a felony?
It's a felony. All right. Go ahead and take a seat. I don't know what this is all about, was that it? Go on, Cole.
What's that?
I take it this is his other half.
Yeah, that's what your guy was telling me. Is that
Okay.
he's the other half of the domestic at the Casa Marina, I guess.
Well, I thought he was.
I mean, those two.
Yeah, I didn't know who this
To me.
guy was. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's the other half of driver.
Okay. Got it.
Lipstick.
Ah, good boy. That's a good boy. Come on. That's a good boy.
Hidey holes here, look. Pay attention to these little details. Because this would be a perfect hidey hole for something, right? Alright, so we got some pills in here that don't belong in this bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Xanax. This is a pain relief, acetaminophen.
So are the let's see what
Well,
it's-
5525.
the blue ones?
Looks like he's eating halves of them.
Got a scale. Goes in the trash. Not much, but. And then.
I think it's right here.
The male subject was charged with resisting arrest and 2 counts of possession of a controlled substance, specifically marijuana and methamphetamine.
Okay, so what do you think about that one? All right, so this is in Florida, so we're going to be looking at the Florida laws. Let's start with the initial stop. All right, so the stop itself it's really going to be governed by the Florida statute section 316.610. All right, under this Florida law, an officer can stop any vehicle they have a reasonable cause to believe is unsafe. Here, you have a windshield that's cracked and shattered. Now, that's not just an eyesore, it's objectively considered a safety hazard. All right, the driver's excuse is the rental company gave it to him that way. And that's not really the answer no one's looking for, okay? If the vehicle is like that when the rental company gave it to you, all right, then it's going to be on you to take the ticket you get for driving an unsafe vehicle back to the rental company, all right? Whenever you're driving a car, it's your responsibility. If you're operating the vehicle, you're responsible for its condition when it's on the road. All right, let's move up to the second issue for our driver here. We have this marijuana, all right? So under the Florida statutes, section 381.986, this law deals with the use of medical marijuana, all right? The important part here is that the law also covers how the medical marijuana has to be handled and packaged, all right? The key thing is in Florida, medical marijuana must be kept in its original labeled receptacle from the treatment center. All right, recent court law out of Florida has sort of changed how police act in many circumstances. This rule that basically the smell of weed alone is no longer enough for a search because legal hemp smells exactly the same as illegal marijuana. However, plain view is still legal. Having loose shake scattered on the dashboard will be enough for the police to go ahead and search, even if a person does have a medical marijuana card. Because remember, having a prescription to use medical marijuana doesn't allow you to use medical marijuana and then go drive a car, all right? You still have to do it under certain circumstances and follow all the rules that have been set out by your care provider. So once the police see loose marijuana on the dashboard, they do have probable cause to search the vehicle. The next law we have is resisting without violence. This is found under the Florida statutes, section 843.02. Here, and when you're pulled over in Florida just in general, in order to be hit with resisting without violence, you don't have to throw a punch, okay? If an officer is performing their lawful duties, like when they're trying to search based on the shake that they see on the dashboard, any physical opposition, however slight, is going to be a first-degree misdemeanor. Remember, those carry that 111, so up to 1 year in jail, fine up to $1,000, maybe even 1 year of probation. All right, and one thing to think about, okay, so here you have an officer that's coming in and they see basically disorder, all right? You see a person that has drugs out. Even if it is a legal drug, the person's not treating it like a medical patient should. You don't have your medicine just out and about. If you have medicine that you've been prescribed, you treat it like a medical patient should. You use it under the strict protocols that the doctor gave you. I can promise you that when police arrive at a disorganized scene, it still can lead to an organized search. Okay, we have one final law before we move on. We have possession of drug paraphernalia. All right, this is found in the Florida statute, section 893.147. All right, this goes back to the scale they found in that pipe they pulled out of his pocket. Remember, I said that pipe was probably used either for the weed or for meth. All right, under the Florida law, it's illegal to possess any material that's intended for use in processing, preparing, testing, or analyzing a controlled substance. All right, here we go back to the scale, which is usually a legal kitchen tool until it's found next to a bag of meth or some loose marijuana. At that point, the context transforms this item into a first-degree misdemeanor. Remember, first-degree misdemeanors carry the 111. So this guy could be looking at up to a year in jail based on having a pipe or these digital scales when they're found in close proximity to some illegal drugs. All right, next, we'll move into our evidentiary standards. They're important anytime that we're going to have any interactions with the police or with some government agents, and we potentially can be called into court. Okay, let's go through our 6 levels of evidence. We'll work our way up from the lowest to the highest. First, you have mere suspicion. A big thing to remember, mere suspicion is simply when the police are going to be called out to the scene. At the level of mere suspicion, the police just have a hunch that something's off. At this level, the police can't take any legal actions, but the police may go on high alert if they feel that something is off. Remember, mere suspicion is simply that call that brings the police out. Moving up one level, we have reasonable suspicion. Now, at this level, the police actually have some specific and articulable facts that lead them to believe that there's some criminal activity afoot. That would be a traffic violation. That would be anything else that would lead them to believe there is an actual crime or a violation happening. At this level of reasonable suspicion, the police can stop you and perform what we call a Terry stop. That's when they stop you, they ask you where you're going, what business you have that you're attending to there, and they can pat you down searching for weapons. At this second level, the police are able to stop and do some short questioning. So here, police see a windshield is broken, shattered, basically in disrepair, and that would give them the basis to stop the vehicle and figure out what's going on. Moving up one more level, we have probable cause. Now, at this level, the police are going to arrest someone. This is a very important level for me and you as regular citizens, especially when you have some government agent that's going to stop us, right? At the level of probable cause, this means that the police have enough evidence that would lead a reasonable person in their same shoes to say, yes, we have enough for an arrest. And we believe that the person that's a suspect is somehow involved. Here, that would be when the officer spots the shake on the dashboard. That brings them up to reasonable suspicion immediately, all right, whether it be prescribed drugs or not. Now the police have to find out, okay, do you actually have a prescription for these drugs? And then you go into the second stage of why are the drugs out and about and not inside of their container? So remember, when you reach that level of probable cause, that means that at that point, someone is about to get arrested. Also, it's important, at the level of probable cause, the police can go and receive a search warrant from a judge, allowing them to go and seize property. All right, next, moving up one more level, we have preponderance of the evidence. Now, this is the first level where we're in court. We'll be in civil court, and this is where people are arguing over money, contracts, maybe a divorce, something of that nature. This level of preponderance of the evidence has a lower burden of proof. All that's required is 51% of the evidence in our favor to win this type of action. And this level even means it's more likely than not that my claim is true. Remember, also, we can lose our case if we have 51% of the evidence outside of our favor, so in our opponent's favor. So here, if you all want to sue the driver for damages to the truck, they would just need to prove that it's more likely than not that the damage is caused by this driver and some negligence that they had with their property. All right, moving up one more level, we have clear and convincing evidence. Now, this is also in the civil realm still in many circumstances. This level is used when it's required to have more evidence in your favor to win your action. Clear and convincing evidence means that it's highly probable or substantially likely that the claim that you're bringing is going to be true. To win this type of action, you need about 75% of the evidence in your favor in order to win. So that's a much higher burden. This is the level where I usually say this requires more receipts to win. This is the standard used when you're claiming someone defrauded you. This is also the standard used when you have to come to court dealing with certain government agencies. You also see this in certain child custody cases when parents are fighting to change custody. A good example here, now if the state wanted to revoke this man's marijuana privileges, then they would have to probably meet the same standard of clear and convincing evidence. It shows highly probable that their claim is true. They have to bring more evidence, a conviction, something like that, to show that he's been abusing his status. All right, finally, let's move to this highest level, beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, this level is reserved for every criminal case in America. This is the highest standard. It means that there's no other logical conclusion besides the defendant being guilty of the charges brought against them. To win these type of actions, the government needs to have anywhere from 90 to 95% of the evidence in their favor. That's quite a bit. I will say that one thing about if a person decides to take a case to a jury trial is that you never really know how a case is going to turn out. What looks like a slam dunk case sometimes can fall apart when you're talking about a person coming to court maybe 18 months to 2 years later. Many times the stories change so much, and the importance level of trying a certain case sometimes moves down on a prosecutor's list. Now, as to this man here, he's still very early in that process. This just happened this month in January, so you got some years ahead of you before this thing even goes to trial, if he decides to take a trial. All right, let's move into our conclusion. Okay, so what's the lesson today? Sometimes that gut feeling can be a survival tool. The officer's intuition told him that, well, this story about a greenhouse is probably a lie. The search proved he was right. The passenger's resistance, well, that's going to add an additional charge that really doesn't need to be there. In Florida, your medical card is like a shield, but having your prescription in the original container, it's like the handle to your shield. If you drop the handle, well, you can't really hold up the shield. So, what do you think? Was the shake, was it enough to justify the force used in this stop? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like, subscribe, and share the video with someone else. Remember, this is Advocacy Alchemy, and I am Professor Ross. I'll see you tomorrow. Everyone have a good day. Everyone stay safe out there, and hopefully you missed most of that winter storm. I'll see you tomorrow.
Come back tomorrow for another video from Advocacy Alchemy.